Hi friends, today I am going to give you a talk for 5 minutes that is going to blow your mind, okay? And whatever respect you have for India's spiritual achievements, mark my words, it's going to grow by some bit. But before that, well, if you want to have a lot of videos, graphics, etc., in your watch, then this is not the channel for you. But if you want amazing content in short 5-10 minutes, then please like, comment something, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Now, I'm gonna summarize two books that I read, okay, on Jesus and his India connection, which will simply leave you spellbound. The first one is a book called Jesus Lived in India by Holger Kirsten. This is a 1983 book I read around 10-12 years back. And essentially, it says that if you know that between the age of 12 to 30 are the missing years of Jesus Christ, okay? There is no reference about what happened in those days in the Bible. The Bible talks about his childhood, and then from 12 to 30, there's a complete gap of 18 years, and then from 30, story resumes when he starts preaching. This book says that in those years, Jesus was in India, and even he did not die in the crucifixion. If you actually check out a lot of historical facts which I've separately read around, you see crucifixion was not usually a means of torture, but not necessarily many people died out of it. Okay, not necessarily. So he survived the crucifixion. He spent his old age in India, in Kashmir, and there are many accounts by different religious gurus, etc., etc., in India also, which says that he was buried in a particular tomb in Kashmir. Okay, he's known by the Saint Isa, which is the name for him here. But more important than this book and the other accounts that I read, what I found amazing is finally, a few weeks back, I found out a book which is the original source of the man who probably started this major controversy in the 19th century. A Russian Jew who called Nicholas Notovich. This man had come to India and was traveling Kashmir where he broke his leg. He landed up in the Hemis monastery in Ladakh. This man writes a short but very compelling account. And the interesting part is this. See, Jesus Lived in India is a book written in 1983. So one says, okay, this is just based on certain facts that the person has researched. But why am I making this video now? Is because I was amazed to read a first person account of this man. He wrote a book called The Life of Isa, which is the unknown years of Jesus Christ. What does he say? Is this that when he was recovering in the Hemis monastery in Ladakh, the monks told them that there is old, thousands of years old account of a man called Isa who had taught, who had come from, who had been taught by the monks there. Not only this, there's a story that, okay, he had probably even gone to say Nalanda, he had studied there, some problems happened, some fight happened, and he left there. He came here and he learned the teachings of Buddha. And then he went back. Okay. Now, that makes sense for two reasons. Firstly, why I had to read the first person account to then understand is because the man comes across realistically as very genuine. It's a very simplistically told story of a person who discovers this when he's in a monastery. He tries to see the documents, etc., and comes back convinced. Okay, he gives a good explanation as to why would he have any motivation to lie about the topic. Having said that, this book created a huge controversy in the 19th century, in 1894 or so, when it was printed. The famous Max Muller, as you know, the man who went around translating the Vedas and, as you know, tried to put the dates of the Ramayana, Mahabharata, etc. This man was very quick to reject this as a fantasy falsification. Many other people in the West also rejected this man. Okay. Later, by the way, Notovich was even sentenced by the Russian government to prison in Siberia. Though that was claimed that it was basically because of some other political issues. Whatever be the case, the man had a very, very tragic life. Okay, but by the way, Francis Husbandman, okay, the man who is famously, led the British into Tibet and all, the major famous general of Britain, the man who is attributed with having discovered all of these lands for Britain, did collaborate one thing, that he did meet Notovich around Ladakh, around the time when Notovich is talking about. Of course, he does not validate anything else. That said, even if one doubts in a way that maybe this book is a bit of fiction, the point is any layman can see the very heavy influence on Jesus' teachings from Buddhist philosophy, if not larger Indic philosophies. Very, very, very clearly. So, even if for a second I assume that both these books, and by the way, these books are not the only books, okay? When this book came out, okay, few years later, Swami Abhayananda, the follower of Ramakrishna Paramhans and very close to Swami Vivekanand, himself also says that he went to the Hemis monastery to validate what Notovich was saying, and he came back very convinced that what Notovich is saying is true. Of course, later there was controversy, so I think the monastery also denied that anything of this was sort happened or whatever it is. I leave aside that. This blog is a book review, so I'm only reviewing what the person has said, right or wrong. But what I want to stress is there is no doubt on the influence, at least on Jesus Christ, even if he never came to India, of Buddhist teachings and larger Indic teachings, which come clearly from India. There can be no doubt on the matter. So, why is it that our Indians do not broadcast this matter? In fact, there is a sense that no, we should not promote this. Okay. But I want to tell you one thing. India has been the land of debate and discussion. We should not shy away from an intellectual battle. Imagine if we could go and tell the entire world that forget the Indic religions, even the essence of Christianity comes from Indic thought. Why are we scared of that debate? India has been conquered by swords, but the Indian intellect has never been conquered. So we should be gutsy enough to openly tell the world that Jesus learned a lot from India. That doesn't make him smaller. He's one of the greatest saints that ever were. It just tells you the fact that whenever scenario, in any scenario, India has always been the center of spirituality in the world. I hope you liked it. If you did, please share it with your friends and leave a comment or so that I'm encouraged to give you more such book reviews. Thank you. Bye bye. I hope you enjoyed it.